Welcome to another XLM AriasWave update. So in this video, we're just looking at the entire price action history for XLM. And as you can see, I have drawn in on this chart the percentage to complete that I expect for the length that I expect this correction to take. And basically what that means is that we're heading for 100% at a total of approximately 3,618 days total for this correction. Now that's obviously a Fibonacci number, and Fibonacci can be used in time if you know what you're doing. In this case, I'm using it against the waves, and the correction here that's currently in play is wave E. So, since the all-time highs in 2017 or end of, we saw a wave one followed by an A, B, C, D, and a large move up for E that never broke the all-time high, which is consistent with a wave two. Now, I've been looking at the small degree of the start of this move down, and that appears to be a five-wave move, a weak one, a weak five-wave move, which means, yeah, we're probably going to see a five-wave move for wave three. Okay, so as you can see, I've drawn in some important levels across the entire chart, and I expect that this correction will end roughly approximately around July next year, so July 2024. Okay, now that there will be a move back down that will retrace the entire D wave. Okay, because I've been doing some research on these type of expanded corrections that happen to look this particular way, and a lot of the time they come back to retrace the wave that caused the whole correction to expand in the first place. So in that case, this is a wave D. So having retraced eventually the whole wave D, this would take us back to basically almost where it started, and it'd be at 0.0015 roughly. But that's also just taking like a few different things into consideration here and not trying to use one or the other too much, but just sort of trying to draw from all the probabilities that I can sort of come across and present them in this idea for you. Okay, so most recently I've been doing a lot of research on the Dow Jones and interest rates and sort of trying to figure out what's going on in the bigger picture. So what I can say is that this definitely does fit into what I believe is going on, in the bigger picture of the entire economy of the world. And I think that we are in for a bit of a shock, uh, you know, over the next, year, uh, and obviously moving forward due to these things just not completely being fixed from one shock. It leads to more. It leads to other things. Like I believe there will be deflation before, more than likely hyperinflation, due to the excesses of the money printing that will need to happen or occur in order to keep this economic system from falling apart, because you can't just drain the liquidity out of it without having repercussions, because that's the thing that keeps the whole economy running in the first place. So as you can see here, we've got the percentage as to how complete this correction is. And, at this point in time, we've just passed, this green line, which I set up, not long ago. But in terms of days, if I had to measure it out roughly here from where we are today, I would have to say that we have about a year, just over a year to go before, I would say it's time to, to really load up on this at the most cheapest price possible. For me, it's all kind of leading into this area down here, into this confluence where you get trend lines converging with the expected price target, along with an expected end to the current move that is a wave E unfolding. in total, this should create a giant bat pattern or an M pattern, M for Michael. um, so, okay, so let's talk about what's currently happening now. Not much has happened, haven't been reporting much, just doing research on the side. And, look, this it's still looking like an A wave to me, not the beginning of any bull market. Nothing has changed really. It's just going to be a lot more sideways for now. I do believe this is the reason why Bitcoin has also continued to just go sideways since I've stopped posting so frequently. And I believe that that's just basically waiting for other sort of coins to finish their respective corrections, because Bitcoin already has completed its first zigzag. But yeah, look, taking a closer look at the small degree, I can see the potential for a continuation of this downtrend quite soon. I think that the type of correction we're seeing here now is going to be limited in its upside. I think potentially XLM might come back to retest the top of this trend line here that I've drawn in using all the long-term patterns. And that might be at around potentially the 13 cent area, 12, 13 cent area, depending, before we get that move down that's going to send this thing down in wave 3. Right, so in terms of how long I believe wave 3 will be, I'm just going to basically take the length of wave 1, take it from that 13, 12, 13 cent area, and I think that would basically move down into this area here, which would be about 0.01 roughly, right? And then from that area, I do believe we'd probably see a little bit more of a correction for a wave 4, and it might even come back to test a break of the previous support from March 2020, right? So we might come back to retest that during what I believe will be a wave 4 correction for wave 3. So this would be currently wave 3. So that'd be basically a third of a third wave, which should be the strongest part of this entire move down since, well, when the bear market begun back at the end of 2017. So I believe that that will be the strongest move down, and it will obviously need to correct, and then for a while before we get the last move down, and then that'll be the end of wave 3. And then all we'd need is a wave 4 and a 5 to complete this. So I'm not going to go and try and talk about that too much at this point, but I just do want to add that the wave 4 will inevitably, in my opinion, be a sharp up and down move, given that wave 2 expanded so much at the highs, right? The wave 2 correction has been was like is one of the reasons why this thing has been so drawn out, and this in this particular pattern, and this particular correction has gone for over 1,000 days, right? So 1,157 according to this count here. So, if wave 4 alternation exists in this market, which it should, then the wave 4 of wave E should be a bit of a, bounce, probably like a bear market bounce at some point, to then come back down to produce the final move down, right? Which should then hopefully hit us or trip us into this trade at our expected target, which is around 0.0015, which is the buy area in my opinion here. Look, this thing's taking its time to play out, but if you're patient, it'll come. You'll get in at the best price. You'll be able to get buy more lumens for less, and basically you would have ignored all the hype of the entire bubble. Hopefully, if you didn't trade a little bit in between, that's fine. We all do that sometimes. Trying to figure this out, it's not an easy process, as we know. It's been quite a journey. So at this point in time, that's where I want to leave it for now in this particular update. And I think that we have a good gauge here on what's going on, what's expected. the reasoning behind it, and also, a lot of other broader macro things that are going on in the wider economy as to why this type of thing is even happening. And, I think this will basically set us up for some success down the line, due to the growth that I believe is coming in XLM, XRP also, and just cryptos in general, as this new technology steps in to save what is currently an old failing financial system, and hopefully slot in to the system in modular ways in order to basically start recreating the whole thing from the bottom up. Okay, so hopefully you found this update interesting and informative. Please like, subscribe, follow, as there's more content to come slowly over the next several months as we head into this buying territory. Thanks for watching.